GM and welcome to Soul Brothers, your finest podcast on Solana, where we throw you into the Solana rabbit hole, show you around in this exciting ecosystem, and talk to some people that are doing interesting things on Solana. And today we got Ashen with us. Ashen, welcome to the show. How are you doing, my friend?
What's up, bro? Thank you for having me. I think this is the second time I've been here. First time was like months and months and months ago, so I'm super happy to be back. And I know that we've been planning this for a while too, so I'm super happy to be here.
It's the first one-on-one. It's the first time I got you with me, and you have to answer my questions, whatever I got for you. So that's great. Appreciate the time you're giving to us. Ashen, first of all, one question I got for you, which is ridiculous question, but what the fuck are you actually doing? Like, what do you tell people when they ask you, hey, Ashen, what do you do for a living? Like, people that are not in crypto, they're not on Twitter, what do you even tell these people? I'm trying to understand Ashen here.
That's a great question. So you've been in crypto. I've been in crypto since like 2021. I'm going to assume you've been in crypto since around then as well, maybe longer. And like whenever anybody asks you, it's like, what do you do for a living? I don't know. The answer is always, I have no idea. It's always just unemployed. And like my wife, she knows we're not completely broke, so that's fine. She knows like, okay, you're not completely broke and we can afford rent and stuff. So she's okay with that. She understands everything. But when you talk to like the next level, like you talk to your father-in-law and he asks you like, what do you do? I have no idea. I just tell people I'm in tech, bro. That's all I tell them. And then that to them is like, okay, that's fine. Just another Indian guy doing some tech shit. So it's fine.
But that's such an easy way out, bro. Like you need to, me too. Like we need to get the pitch right, because we're doing interesting stuff. Like let's be real.
For sure.
We're doing very exciting things. And I think having an elevator pitch of who are you, like, or even different forms of it, depending on who you talk to, is actually very powerful. And I catch myself always fucking this up when someone asks me, hey, what do you do? And then I'm like, okay, shit, I'm not prepared for that question. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I say something stupid like that, like, yeah, I'm in tech. But that doesn't open an interesting conversation with the person, doesn't it?
I agree. So that's like the litmus test. So when I tell people I'm in tech, then they're like, okay, what do you do in tech? That means they care. If they don't ask you that second follow-up question of like, okay, what does that mean? Like there's so much stuff you can be doing in tech. Then it's like, okay, you don't care. And that's okay. I don't need to bore you with whatever it is that I'm doing. Because when I talk about AI stuff, or in the past 6 years, you talk about crypto stuff, it's like, oh man. It's like when people talk to me that they do stuff in finance, I get so bored and like, I don't care because finance is so boring. So if they tell me I'm in finance, I'll be like, okay, what type of finance? And if it's something cool, then I'm like, okay, tell me more. But if it's something boring, I'm like, I don't care. So with other people, when I say I'm in tech and they go, oh, what kind of tech? Like, what do you do? Then I'm like, I make tech videos on AI and crypto stuff. Then they're like, okay, that's not that boring. Cool. And we start a conversation.
That is better. Okay, let's just, we cut everything in between and we're going to use that as the answer to my question that I asked initially. You know, I do content in tech, especially AI and crypto. That's cool.
You can always if they're interested. If they're interested, because if they don't care, I'm like, oh, whatever.
Sure. But I'm generally interested in what you say to that question. So that's a good
of course. You and I are going to talk forever.
I think you do identify a lot as a, however you want to call it, but content creator, right? Mm-hmm. Someone that produces things in the internet that are of value for other people. And you've been doing this since a while, especially now with the focus on crypto. How do you? Did you pivot to AI? Did you leave crypto behind? Are you like, where's your mindset right now as a creator, really, for your brand as well? And you can be, as honest as you can here and strategically how you spin this, because I know there's good reasons, to do certain things. But where's your mind at right now in terms of AI versus crypto and so on as a creator?
Of course, yeah. So I joined crypto in like 2020, and then before that, I used to do modeling for like 6 to 8 years. So I come from like the content creation like life. So when I pivoted from doing back-end marketing from like NFT projects and DeFi projects, working at Magic Eden and Claynosaurus to like doing content in crypto, it was like pretty normal. It was almost like God was trying to tell me like, you need to keep doing this, even though I took a couple of years break in between, which is really funny. And then I just been doing content on crypto stuff for the past 3 or 4 years. So after like 3 years in crypto, obviously it's such a crazy fun industry. There's like so much you can do every single day that's like new stuff, like crypto itself is amazing. There's no doubt about it. And like that's all my money is still in crypto and Bitcoin and stuff like that. But the question is like every single day when you wake up, like how can you make new content about DeFi or stable coins or stuff like that? And that's like a tough conversation to have. So I was getting bored of like the content I was making. And then AI stuff started happening. Like vibe coding was really What's that?
Uh,
Is that? Oh, okay. Yes, I thought it was me. I thought I was scratching something. But yeah, so I was like bored with the stuff I was making. And I was like, how can I make this more interesting for the people that are watching me? Because even I'm bored making content. And then vibe coding started to pop off. I saw this Joe Rogan interview with Amjad Masad, which is the founder of Replit. Replit is a vibe coding software. So I was like, okay, let me try this. And then I was like, this is really fun because AI has this like evergreen aspect to it where it's not just make a video on DeFi or stablecoins or meme coins or do one of the 5 things that you can do every day to like either make money or have fun. It was like you can make a 3D game on blah, blah, blah with vibe coding, or you can make a website or an iOS app or an Android app, or you can try to do this or do that, or you can mess around with different models and stuff. So for me, there was no pivot. It was more so like an expansion because on Twitter, I still talk about crypto every single day and I still get shit on my every single day about like I don't know why are you doing more AI than crypto or stuff like that. But in reality, it's like that is such a limiting factor that you're like, I only wear the color red. I don't wear the color green. People know me for wearing the color red, so I'm only going to talk about red as well. But like that's not the smartest thing to do, especially if you want to expand. Like it's okay to be a tech guy that has a focus on crypto and AI. Like more than anything in the world, I know more about crypto than anything in my life, and I know more about AI right after crypto. So I think it was more of an expansion than a pivot because as a creator, you need to be interesting and your content needs to be interesting. And if you run out of stuff to talk about, because Bitcoin goes to, 68K after like 6 months being at like 120 and sentiment's all the way down and people are so upset because they lost so much money. It's like you need to do something else. That's what I was thinking. And then vibe coding just like appeared on my like Joe Rogan. That's how I found it. And I was like, this is a lot of fun. So I just started exploring that.
I get that. As a creator, you don't want to do shit that you don't even find interesting because the chances are very low that the outcome is going to be interesting for anyone else. If you're not passionate. So I think that is it's very important. But at the same time, it's a two-sided coin because at the same time, you also want to have a thing. You want to have a brand. You want to be known for something. And if maybe your brand can be as well, I fuck around in 10 different things, and play around with stuff that can also be a brand. But right now, your thing is vibe coding, honestly.
Yeah.
Just for sure. Based on all the content you're pushing out.
For sure. AI stuff.
And that's fine.
Just, yeah.
AI stuff,
AI
right?
stuff in general.
And that is right now just something that gets a lot of mind share because let's be very frank here. And I don't know if you know the data, but there's a very interesting chart about the what's it called, social awareness or something of crypto measured by Google Trends, YouTube videos with crypto keywords, Twitter timelines with hashtags, blah blah. So they have like a very comprehensive data set that they're looking at, and the social awareness for crypto is right now at an all-time low, like lower than ever, which is ridiculous. Like it has been
that
higher
always happens
when prices were low.
Cycle.
It's true. But it's for creators, it's such a difficult time to create content.
Of course.
If there's no audience, then who do you create for? And then you have your small little niche audience you're creating for, which is great. Like people right now on the stream and people are watching Soul Brothers YouTube videos, for example. As long as we talk only crypto, I love that small audience. But if you really want to do something big, and I think you can probably attest to that, did you see any change in terms of attention, engagement, and so on since you do more AI content compared to before crypto content?
I think crypto, if you're doing anything in crypto for the past year and a half, your engagement was really, really good because Bitcoin was at 130K, right? And Solana was at 293 when Trump did the thing. If you were doing anything, everything is trend based. Like even back when I was doing fashion stuff, it wasn't even like, okay, outfit of the day, here's what I'm wearing today. That was like a trend for 6 months. But then it was like, okay, it's no longer outfit of the day, it's this thing. And if you make content on the past 6 months thing that's not trending now, then your stuff just won't bang. And if you're a content creator, the number one thing that you want to do is like grow your socials. And you can always stick to that one niche that you are in. There's nothing wrong with that, but it should never be a full pivot. It should just be an expansion. Like even on my bio, I change it like every week because I'm just like, I have a problem. But it says AI plus crypto guy. That's it. Because like that's all I know. I only know AI and crypto. But I believe I watched this one guy, what's his name? Moist Critical. He has really long hair. And he wears the white t-shirt every time. His name is Penguin Zero on YouTube, but he's basically like a streamer. But he has no thing. He just like looks at current news and current events, and he's really, really funny. And anytime that he talks about anything going on, it'll be like Epstein, or it'll be like a news reporter, or some meme came out, or crypto's dead, whatever it is. He just talks about it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this taught me something. Because when I first started watching his videos, which was recently, I was like,
Mm.
he has no thing. What is this guy's thing? Like you were referring to, like what I thought you needed. But in reality, it's like people like you for you. So when I pivoted or like expanded to like AI stuff from crypto stuff, I was just like doing stuff because I was bored. I was like, there's nothing to talk about in crypto. Everyone hates themselves. And like nobody, Bitcoin's at 60K down 50%. Yeah, everyone's so sad and angry. No matter what you post about, you're gonna get shit on. And I was like, okay, I don't like that. So like, what do I do on Twitter all day? I was bored. I like wasn't on Twitter. And then I saw the Rogan interview, and that got me thinking. I was like, they don't like you for the stuff that you're doing. They like you for you. So whatever you do, even if we pivot fully, we never talk about crypto again, and we start talking about cars and posting about cars and engines, if they like you, they will still be there. And that they isn't necessarily crypto bros. It has to be a wider range of like people that follow me and fuck with whatever it is that I'm doing. Because even when I was posting the credit card loan, do you remember the credit card loan? That was the stupidest thing ever. Where I took out that 0% APR $20,000 credit card loan like a year and a half ago. That was to buy crypto, sure, but that was just a stupid thing. So people are like, okay, this guy Ashen is a retard. So anything that he does, maybe I can relate with it because I'm also retarded. And that's what I learned. So this AI stuff, when like CT was like, okay, you know what, I'm bored too. Why not like vibe code something? They're like, okay, Ashen, I know him. I know he's not like a scammer. He's not retarded. He doesn't fight people. He kind of knows what he's talking about. He moved to AI a little as well. Maybe we'll see what he's doing. That's what I've learned.
Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Are you as excited as you've never been before about something new in the world right now? Or not?
Yes.
Yes.
That's a great question. I know you can relate to that. That's a great way to put it. Because like, again, crypto is the most exciting thing ever. I think like it's the payment infrastructure for AI and blah, blah, blah. And like the way that crypto is evolving is at the same scale and level the previous 5 years that I believe AI is right now. So my thing is like, I think that AI is in like the crypto 2019 part of its cycle. So if there is a bubble or let's say a trend or like a movement that takes place every like 6 years of some sort of technology, I think like 2019 to 2025 of crypto was like the most exponential rise of crypto ever. And what I like to say is when I talk to people, I'm like, you could have accidentally made $100,000 in crypto any other day from like 2023 to 2026 randomly. Like there was a chance that you bought a shitter or you did an IPO in 2019 or you did something and you made 6 figures on mistake. Obviously, I didn't. I wish, but there's so many. Other people did. The possibility was so much higher in the past 5 years because of how new crypto was. But now that crypto's kind of not new and it's not niche. It's like everyone has a Bitcoin reserve. Every country has Bitcoin. Trump has his own coin. Everyone blah, blah, blah. It's not a niche subject anymore, which isn't a problem. Like what we came out here to do with crypto was like mass adoption and blah, blah, blah. I believe that has been adopted. So my brain is like, I don't think it's the people that are in crypto are necessarily only here for blockchain technology. They're attracted to the idea of new technology. So something that's new and that everyone in the world isn't used to it or using it or something like that. And whether that's like the .com stuff or whether that's crypto or whether that's AI, it's like that human nature trait that you and I share. Why we're on Twitter 12 hours a day, aside from the fact that we're trying to hit a lottery or whatever, you know what it is. I believe like we can relate to this AI trend because I think, like I said, AI is in like its 2019, 2021 era of crypto. And in 5-6 years, when AI has become like fully popular and like everyone's using it for something, everyone has an OpenClaw agent or, like governments are using AI to do stuff, then that like likelihood of that tech explorer part of your brain that wants to be early to stuff and maybe make some money or maybe be known for something, I think it's getting less and less likely with the time, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like that accidental probability of you making $1 million is very low every single day that it passes,
Yeah, right now
that's what my brain is.
We're at the frontier, right? And that's where we feel comfy. Like the people that want to be at the frontier of tech. It is a bit chaotic. You don't really know what's happening. Things change every day. You don't have any consistency really, but that's what we enjoy. And it's a specific group of people, and crypto attracted similar people. It attracted all kinds of people, right? Good and bad. But there is a big overlap between crypto and AI right now in terms of individuals and how they relate to the technology. But I think actually the pure tech and the possibilities, and you tasted it. You got a really good taste of what's possible with agentic setups and so on. I think that is truly exciting, isn't it? Like it's world changing. What's happening right now.
Exactly. And I believe that a lot of these people that are in crypto, their idea, let's be straight. Everybody here wants to make $1 million. Everybody wants to make $1 million. Nobody here is in crypto only for the tech. Even Mert. I love Mert, but he wouldn't say no to $1 million. Neither would even Tolly. Actually, no, Tolly probably has $1 million. He would say no. Yeah. But, you know, most people, 99% of people here, they're here to make money, to do something cool, to not ever go back to that 9-to-5 race. I used to work retail my whole life. I grew up super poor. So, like, I never, in the back of my head, if everything fails and I don't have to go work at Walmart, then I think I've lived a good life. That's my only thing in my brain, right? So that idea transmits to like any technology you apply it to or anything you're trying to do. So with this like AI stuff, if you're in crypto early, you were here because it's early, it's unregulated, there's a high chance of making exponential losses or gains in money. And it's like you should carry that exact vibe into AI. You don't need to build a B2B AI SaaS blah 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 bullshit because that's none of those really work and it's all a bunch of buzzwords. But there's something you can do like OpenClaw. If you've been using it, it probably made your life. Like I've seen Eno in this group chat that I'm in, and he's always texting in that group chat every single day. He's like, "How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? I need to do this. I need to do this." I'm like, that's beautiful. There's like inquisitive part of your brain that is exploring and like trying to do stuff is a thing that people don't activate often enough. And I just believe there's a higher likelihood of you finding curiosity in AI in the next like 3 years than maybe in crypto. But it doesn't mean that you never talk about crypto ever again. No, like obviously like stable coins and you should hold Bitcoin. All of my money is in Bitcoin and Solana right now. So I think like the inquisitive part of your brain to make content with and to maybe make some money, I think there's just a higher likelihood in AI right now. That's what I think.
That checks out. I saw a thumbnail of yours in a group chat. I think it wasn't that group chat. I don't know if you posted the video yet. Is it out already? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is that a video that's already? Can we talk about this?
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to see when it's gonna post. I see the thumbnail you're talking about.
So you did.
Oh,
you did. Yeah. Okay. You did an experiment. I think like you tried something with AI.
Yeah.
I wanted because maybe that's the thing we can talk about. But I want to use an example of things you did with AI in the past, experiments that were interesting, and pick one of them and. What did you find out and why is it exciting? We can talk about this one, of course. What I'm referring to, or can be something else. Up to
I'll talk about this one. You know me, okay. I don't care. We've been mutuals for like 3 years. You know I don't care. So again, the thumbnail Simon is referring to here is it's me here in that traditional like YouTube thumbnail, Mr. Beast, whatever, and then it says I gave AI my semen. Let me make it clear, my semen was not actually given to the AI. I gave it my genetic information. So I was not busting nuts inside of a Mac Mini. Let's be clear.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
okay.
No, my OpenClaw did not receive. Yeah, it's true, but it's definitely clickbait. Because when I was making that, I was like, this is so stupid, but I'm pretty sure it's going to work because that's how YouTube works.
Right.
So
right.
I did a DNA test like a year ago. And then when you go to that DNA test like website, you can get your genetic code exported as just ACGT, which like is like how genetic material is like written down. So you can have an entire doc on Google Drive that is your body. So it's 677,000 lines of DNA written in the form of just letters. And it's like, this is how I exist as a human being biologically, like my DNA. So
how does the test work? Like, how do you, is it blood test or is it like, do you actually have to?
You just spit in a tube. This one, you just spit in a tube. The funny part, the semen part comes in because like I think every man, again, Simon, you're swole, you take care of yourself, you understand the need. Every man should have a semen test done. When you have a kid or when you want to have a kid, if you like, you're running like, stray semen, you're going to get cooked. Everyone smokes and drinks and vapes and the Zyn. It all has some sort of negative side effect, So I'm go take a semen test once. It's so weird. It's so strange. Just go do it, just so you know you're okay, and then never talk about it again. But unlike me, I'm the
Josh clip that. Okay, so back to the video.
Sorry. I did not. I spit in a tube. It was not the semen part. Yeah, so they get your DNA from a tube. You send it to them. Blah blah blah. The semen part is just all you get back in the report is like, okay, you're fine, or okay, you're not fine. Yeah. So I was fine, thank God. Now I have peace of mind. But I did a blood test. I did the semen test, and then I did the DNA test. So I fed it to my OpenClaw on Discord, and I was like, here is 700,000 lines of genetic data about myself, and then here's my blood test because like I have genetically like high cholesterol or something like that, and then I was like, here's my semen test as well. I was like, here's every single fluid from my body. I want you to tell me what's wrong with me, what's not wrong with me. And again, this was in the name of like betterment, like how can I become better and stronger and more fit? That's the only thing I care about. Like I want to be as healthy as possible. And then I fed it to him, and in the video you see, but basically he went through every single line, and he was like, this individual single like gene that you have, trait that you got maybe from your dad, maybe from your mom, or maybe it was dormant, you cannot process fish oil, or you can't process omega-3s unless it's from fish oil. I had no idea about that. Like I take supplements every single day. Yeah, I had no idea.
How many years on this earth did it take you to learn this fact about yourself? Isn't that
exactly
ridiculous?
And that's in my body. That's nothing I can do. There's nothing you can do about it. Even like in bodybuilding or when you're lifting, you know, some people, they have that excuse. They're like, oh, I have wide hips, I would be a horrible bodybuilder. I'm like, shut up, bro. That's an excuse. If you want to get swole, you can get swole. There's no question about that. But this is uncontrollable. So, you know, if I have omega-3 deficiency and I'm taking like maybe chicken-based or protein-based like supplements for it, it's not working. It's because my body can only digest fish oil omega-3. So now I bought fish oil omega-3s and I take that every single morning. And then another thing was like vitamin D deficiency. So again, sun is out. I don't know how I have a vitamin D deficiency, maybe just because it's winter, but a lot of vitamin D isn't only just sun. So you have to do a lot of other stuff. So I took the multivitamins, and in that was vitamin D. But for some reason, genetically, I'm just predisposed to have low vitamin D. That showed not only in the blood test, but in the genetic test as well. So when I took that blood test, it just said you had a vitamin D deficiency. I was like, okay, that's not good. Let me just like get a supplement for that. But then when I took the gene test and fed it to my OpenClaw, which is like powered by Claude, Code, Opus 4.6 and stuff, they told me like your blood test came from your gene test. You have low vitamin D, not because of only your diet, but because genetically you are predisposed to having a vitamin D deficiency. So I was like, okay, like in this pursuit of being healthy, I was like, I thought I was just being like a loser and my diet was bad, but it wasn't only that. It was like, that could be part of it, but also you have a genetic predisposition to this. And I was like, okay, that's crazy. So even you're swole as fuck. You understand the need to always be as strong as possible and always to be as healthy as possible. And like, how can I optimize my macros and all this kind of stuff? And I think for you, it would be beneficial. You should give, AI your semen tomorrow. No, not the semen. The semen is useless. It doesn't really do anything. The semen test results you get back from the doctor, it doesn't do anything. But blood test and gene test, you should definitely do. And then you can see, okay, me as Simon as a human being, what did I get from my parents? What did I, maybe something I was exposed to for like my whole life that had a negative or positive impact? I think it's a good idea. Everybody should do if they're interested in your health.
Fun fact, I did that as well.
You did that?
But I did a DNA thingy as well. I did a blood test as well. I have everything in I think I still have it set up in GPT because I opened it like 1.5 years ago, a GPT chat.
What did it say?
And I mean, it all kinds of things. It told me I'm like French or some shit as well. like my ethnic background somewhere. Yeah. It gave me the breakdown of that as well.
So are you happy or sad to find out that part of you is French?
I'm okay with it.
Okay,
I don't have any problems with them.
No, me neither. I'm joking. I love France. I love France. I've been to Paris. I went to the Monet House. I love that place.
Yeah. So, but that is a good use case. I think that is actually a product you should write code. Simple front end with a little. You need to build a service as well where you can collect the spit test from people. That is the only thing that is difficult to write code. But if you got that figured out, I think that's actually a really cool thing. Sell it for $50. People get their results.
I agree.
Figured out.
Yeah, because on that, sorry. Which thing did you do the DNA test with? The spit DNA test. Like, do you know what company it was?
Nah, I actually did it at a Kudus side event.
Oh, those guys are so cool, bro. Every time I see them, they're always doing something insane at these events.
I did two things with like shout out to Kudus. I did one time they took my blood, the other time they took my some like a how do you say from the nose, like a little test, and there was 2 different tests. So very interesting to do, interesting use case as well. But actually, I want to ask you. What is you build a lot of shit already with AI. You've been like vibe coding now since weeks, and I think you've tinkered a lot. What is one thing that you built that you think is very interesting, that you're very excited about? Is there like, if you can pick one thing that you tinkered together? Because I saw you submitted some stuff to hackathons. You played around a lot with OpenClaw. You built some stuff for that. Is there anything that's worth highlighting where you feel like this is a cool thing?
Yeah, I think like so I saw ICO Beast tweeted something as well. I love that guy. He has great tweets, great info find, nothing against him. He's like really, really smart. And he tweeted something which was like pretty interesting. He was like, okay, aside from Frank that made the subscription checker, all these like vibe coding guys, have you actually built a product? Have you actually done anything? I was like, that's a great question. I was like, a lot of people, even like me, they built like a 40% complete product. They never touch it again, but they just tweet about it. That's like how most of my stuff is, which to me, I see that as a win. Everything is experience. Everything is practice. But I think to answer his question, it's like mine is more of a personal thing. So I have OpenClaw set up on, I got this Mac Mini. And then I got this Mac Mini. We're going to do another one. And then I had a Mac Studio, but I returned it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm making a video about that. I returned it because, like, I don't need that big of a Mac Studio. I don't need the local LLM. I think it's just much smarter to run, like, a subscription out of this. But either way, I plugged this into, like, Google Calendar, Notion, my Todoist. I told it about my personal dreams. I told it I have to throw a wedding reception in a few months. I say that I'm traveling to Finland. I give it every piece of information about myself, which is too much. And then I just ask it, like, where can you plug in to help make my life easier? And I think it's taken so many tasks from me that I don't have to do anymore. Like, I hate doing small stuff like paying. Like, I got a speeding ticket the other day because I'm stupid. And I don't like paying it. It's so annoying. The websites are so old. So I'm just going to take a picture of it. And I'm just going to send it to my OpenClaw and be like, go pay this. Here's my credit card. Don't do anything else with it, but just like pay this parking ticket, bro. But again, it's one credit card. So if I get another charge on it, I know that the OpenClaw has done something bad, right? It's just this one isolated credit card. Yeah. So I think my biggest success with all this stuff is like making my personal life a little bit easier and more organized. Because this content creation stuff is like, okay, I need to make a video on this. I need to make a video on this. If I don't do this in the next 12 hours, the topic's going to be old. So I need to do it right now. And like, I've had an idea for this fish tank. Again, it's green. They're alive. They're all fine. They're not sick. It's fine. But I have like a different camera. And I vibe coded this thing where I want to set it up in front of it. And it tracks each individual fish, where it goes, its activity, how it's swimming, is it actually getting sick? So like, exactly, right? So that's an idea I've had for a month, but I haven't been able to do it. But the product for it is built out by my OpenClaw. I didn't need to vibe code anything. I was like, hey, here's my idea. I want you to vibe code the entire thing, push it to GitHub. I'll take a look at it when I'm free. I just haven't been free. So like, I think it's more of a personal thing. It's about like making your life easier. And if it could even make your life easier for 10%, it takes up 10% of your nonsense activities, then I think that would be my biggest win. But aside from that, I do have like an app that I'm trying to submit to the iOS store. It's like a Quran reading app. It's really, really pretty. And it's like basically a way for you to finish the entire Quran in like 1 month or 1 year instead of like starting it and never reading it. But that I have I have to submit to the iOS store again because they keep saying no for some reason. So I don't know. It's like always small stuff. But when that finishes, I think that'll be the second thing. Number one is personal stuff. And number two is that app store.
Cool. And what's your setup is basically really OpenClaw. Like that's what you're using to vibe code with as well. What's the differences here in your, like, from your experience right now between just using Cloud Code in your terminal and just, it has file access, it can authorize to your GitHub and everything, so you can do a lot of shit with it as well, right? What's the biggest unlock here that you get from running OpenClaw?
I think like I saw a tweet the other day, or like maybe when OpenClaw first came out, and people were like, you've gone from like vibe coding to like vibe orchestrating, meaning like instead of being the guy that's on Cursor or Replit or whatever website saying, hey, fix this part, you now just talk to an agent, your OpenClaw that's in Discord or Telegram. And you're like, hey, I want you to vibe code me something that does this. And then he gives you a product, and then you give him input, and then he fixes it. So you no longer have to, like, this Quran app that I've been working on took me like a month. It should have taken me 2 weeks, but I have like perfectionist problems. And I just like lagged with shipping it. If I had like my OpenClaw do it, instead of me sitting there on Cursor doing it, I could have been doing other stuff. It would have been a little bit worse, but it would have been like, you go make this app, show me what you've created, then I'll give you feedback to fix it. So I think that orchestration is like, now you're no longer a vibe coder. You're managing somebody that does the vibe coding, which is crazy. But even without that, I think like with OpenClaw and the things that you can make it do is so much more like, it's like research based as well. Like in my Notion, I have like 13 scripts that I had nothing to do with. I'll be like, Simon just made a tweet about XYZ. I want you to analyze this, and I want you to like use the internet and search up stuff. And I want you to make me a script that I can make for a YouTube video that's 6 to 12 minutes long. And it'll do that. And it'll just send me the Notion. And I've used like 3 of those scripts already. That's what I believe the biggest use case is. If that was your initial question, what was your initial question? I'm sorry.
I think you answered it to an extent. It's basically just the difference between using Claude Code in terminal and OpenClaw setup, right?
But, yeah, orchestration for sure. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. And then when it comes to more hands-on Ashen's agentic secrets here, when it comes to hands-on operating the setup, because there's so many pitfalls I feel by now that you can fall into and do wrong things as well when it comes to the setup of these things. For example, one thing is the decision on where do you run your OpenClaw, right? What made you run it on a Mac Mini compared to hosting it on a data center on a VPS, or even getting a Windows PC, or you have a few options, right? Or running it on your machine that you're right now on. What are the advantages of running it on a Mac Mini?
I think so. Mac Mini is $600 for like an operating system that you can do anything on. That's really cheap. $600. Like if you want to build your own Mac or a Windows gaming PC, minimum you need to spend is like $1,000. So I think Mac Mini $600 is a great idea if you want to spend money on an individual thing. If you don't want to, don't. There's definitely no need to spend money. If you have an old laptop or an old Windows laptop or an old anything, you can run this on anything. It doesn't require any crazy like hardware. So if you want to buy something, buy the cheapest Mac Mini possible. Don't buy anything else. If you don't want to buy something, don't buy anything. So I think like there's like a FOMO aspect where it's like, Alex Finn, I just bought a $10,000 Mac Studio. I love him. I love his stuff. He's doing such crazy fun stuff. And for him, that is what he should be doing because he makes videos on it and he has like 8 agents running out of an office doing something. So he might actually need that $10,000 Mac Studio. But for 99% of people, even myself included, where if Alex Finn is doing like 99% level stuff, I'm doing like maybe 78% level stuff, Even I don't need like a Mac Studio for $10,000. So I think like this Mac Mini right here, again, I returned my Mac Studio that was $4,000. And then I returned the other Mac Mini that was $2,000. So I spent 6 bands on 2 different devices. And I was like, okay, I can run a dumb local model out of this. And it'll be fun. It was fun. I have no regrets. It was amazing. I made a video on it, so my use case was done. But like in reality, for OpenClaw, all you need is the cheapest Mac Mini, the cheapest device possible, and just make sure your subscription is really good. Because if you have the $200 a month Claude Code Max subscription, you can power your Mac Mini with that token. Which again, they haven't said you're not allowed to do it or you are allowed to do it. But for me, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. Right now
they haven't given any.
Area.
No clear rules on that. So, I mean, I know everyone else is doing that already, but hopefully we're fine, right? But if you do that, think of it this way. The math is like $2,000 on a Mac Mini that might have 48 gigabytes of RAM that still can't run any like local model that's worth running because they all suck. Nothing is smarter than Opus 4.6. That's it. So if you just get a subscription, you pay $200 a month, you have like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You have like 10 months until you hit $2,000. And by then, you don't need a new device. That's what my hack would be. Buy the cheapest Mac Mini possible, but just get a really banger subscription for a really good AI, whether that's like a Chinese model or Anthropic or whatever it is. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Because I made all those mistakes, so other people don't.
Are you trying to power your OpenClaw with one AI, or have you considered using a more sophisticated setup with different models? Or have you tried it?
Yeah, I tried it. So I tried it. I'm going to post a video on that soon too, where it's basically me just like running into problems. I posted a clip of it where I tried to run. So I bought the Mac Mini, but like a little higher version of the Mac Mini, and it had only 48 gigabytes of RAM, which is like you could only really run a local model, which has like 30 gigabytes that requires 30 gigabytes of RAM to run because like a little bit of slippage is needed. And like the second I turned it on, it just broke. It died. I literally couldn't do anything. Like it was at 99%. Like RAM usage, and the thing was gonna get cooked and burn and die. So like, okay, that's not smart. And so I was like, that's not a good idea. So then I was thinking, then I got the Mac Studio. In the Mac Studio, it's 98 gigabytes. Again, 98 gigabytes is double from before, but still not that much. You need at least 256 or the 512 $10,000 Mac Studio to run a significant. It's too much money to run a local model that's worth it. You need that $10,000 one, but like, why would you buy? You don't need that unless you got money that you don't care about. Yeah, you don't need that.
I don't even mean running local models. I mean running multiple different AI models.
Yeah,
instead of,
I would say
the set.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For that. So I made all those mistakes. That's why I knew I didn't want to do those. So I came to the conclusion. I was like, okay, Claude Opus 4.6 is so good that when I had it running with the other models, it would yell at the other models. It would literally send it messages. It would be like, hey, Yeah, I swear to God, it was literally that. It would reply to it in Discord, and the agent I had running Opus 4.6 would be like, "Dude, what are you doing? He told you 10 times, stop doing this." I'm like, "This is crazy." I was like, "There's a significant like difference here. Why would I want to run some dumb model?" So to me, the answer is again, like I said, 2 of the cheapest Mac Minis possible, or you can run 2 instances in one machine, but that kind of gets boring. I think it's fun. I think it's fun. You have 2 little, they're sitting next to each other, and it takes up such a little amount of room, and then you can isolate it in case there is a security risk. But 2 of the cheapest models running Opus 4.6 on Claude Max token, $200 a month. And then if you want to try like a Chinese model, Kimi K 2.5 is really good. And there's another one called Mini Max, which is also really good. And it's maximum like less than $100 a month to get that subscription. So save money. I think everyone should always save money. But if you have the means to test out stuff and you have money, you should definitely have fun and test out stuff. Because, Simon, Apple has a week period of grace where you can just return something entirely and get a full refund. So I'm just saying, you want to buy that $10,000 Mac Studio, go ahead and try it, and then you can return it within a week, and they'll give you all your money back. But obviously, you can't even do that because they're all back ordered. You won't even get one.
Yeah, right. Why do you set up 2 right now? What's your reasoning for that again?
Yeah, so my goal is I got rid of my Windows. I hate Windows. It's so bad. It was supposed to be like a gaming PC, and I just can't do it. I'm just a Mac guy now, which sucks. But I gave that to my little cousin, so it was used somehow. And I got the Mac Mini for $600, and I was like, okay, this is great. All you really need is one. But in the pursuit of content and trying to like be agentic company guy, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, let's get 2. Let's run one on Opus 4.6 on one, and let's run Minimax subscription on the other. So there's 2 agents with 2 different identities that can talk to each other and do stuff. So we have like the CEO figure and the CMO figure. But again, if they don't do anything, there's no point. So my thing is like, everyone has these offices full of $50,000 of hardware, but what are you doing with it? What have you created? If your goal is to make money, have you made money? If you're just doing it to have fun, then that's great. I think have fun. But to me, it's like I want to make money and I want to make content to show people how to make money. So with 2 of them, I want them to talk to each other and just basically be like 2x the output of if I only had one. And ideally, that should lead to us making at least, because again, I'm paying monthly for these, like $150 a month. So like, okay, as long as they make $150 a month, I would see this as a success. That's my only goal.
Yeah,
that's my goal.
And that's actually ridiculous cheap if you think about what's happening here. Like you're having 2 little employees doing shit for you for
it's very cheap. And if you have the Apple Card, it's 0% APR, so there's no interest on it. And over the course of 12 months, $1,200 is like it's like $100 a month. It's not that crazy. And then I think it's like you're saying, the value you get from it is crazy. That $20 a month like subscription for Claude Code is like the single greatest ROI on the planet. You don't need to code anything, but like it's so good. It'll plug into everything that you have. $20 a month is definitely worth it.
One of the last things, I don't even know if you have an opinion on this, but what's your take on the Steinberger guy, the founder of OpenClaw, joining OpenAI and basically being part of that organization? Or we don't really know what's happening and what the motivations are. Obviously, this is all a little bit unclear. We can paint our own pictures here, but it used to be an open source project completely without any ties to anything, which is kind of nice. I think it sounds nice. It sounds like, okay, there's no power play, it's an open source kind of common good for public good for everyone to use. It's free. But now OpenAI was like, we want that. And then the gentleman decided to go to OpenAI, to no one else. He had some issues with Anthropic before anyways, and some battles. So I think that was an obvious choice now to go to OpenAI. But do you see is there any implications for the product? Do you think that's a good thing? Do you have any opinion on the move from the guy to join them?
Yeah, everything you're saying, first of all, I agree with. I think like it was kind of needed. Like the Peter said, he was like, I only ever got legal love letters from Anthropic. Like they made him change his name from Claudebot to Moltbot and then now OpenClaw, right? So he only ever got like legal services from Anthropic. Basically, I'm going to sue you if you don't change your name. And then even now, just yesterday, like you mentioned before, like Anthropic team apparently was like, you can't use the token for OpenClaw either, which is bogus. Like that's what everyone's doing. That's what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm not allowed to do it. If I'm not allowed to do it, I'll stop, of course. But like, who knows? I think it was like a no-brainer. Like any single big AI institution or company out there that's doing anything in AI, why wouldn't you want to have that guy on your team? Like he mentioned on his personal level, he was like, I've never worked at a big AI company. I want to work at a company. And like he said, I'll always keep it open source. OpenCloud will be always open source. And Sam Altman also said that, which is amazing, which is good for us. But I think they got a huge W by getting this guy. I don't know what he's going to do. And I know it'll always stay open source because that's what Altman said. Hopefully they stay true to that. But that's a huge win. Like imagine like you got LeBron into his like first year in the NBA, bro. That's like what they did. They acquired this dude, not the software, which is great. And now you can basically assume that like anytime he needs help with something, he has open AI backing to help him. As long as it stays open source, I think that's a huge win. And according to what they're saying, they said it will be.
I think that remains the only uncertainty that I have a little bit in the back of my head right now. Like what is, you know, OpenAI has a game here, right? They have an agenda.
Everyone does.
They do
for sure.
They do things for a reason. So what's their plan with OpenClaw, you know? Or do they just want to show the middle finger to Anthropic and be like, well, we're going to just, you know, make this
They did a great job. Yeah, because what was Anthropic thinking? It was built. The thing, actually. Yeah, they fumbled. They fumbled so bad. Again, they're a $1 trillion company. What do I know? But in my opinion, I'm like, bro, why wouldn't you be friends with him at least? You're sending him legal cease and desist letters, making him change his name. And he got hacked when he changed his name by a bunch of crypto bros like us, which sucks also. And then they made him the Claude token. Everyone's using it for OpenClaw. They just kept fumbling. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't want OpenClaw. I don't understand that.
I think potentially because they want to do their own shit. They want to sell their own products. They have co-work, whatever that is. I still don't understand what co-work really does. And what's the difference to the chat? But they have their own ideas of agentic, you know, workflows. I think they probably want to build something in the direction of OpenClaw, but under the Anthropic umbrella, where you have to pay for, obviously, in the
probably.
So that is the only reason why I think they are shooting. They're shooting shots.
But still, like, why would you? It's one dude. It's one guy, one giant swole dude. He's really cool. Have you seen him? He's gigantic, by the way. Yeah,
I have seen him.
He's huge, bro. So it's one huge Chad who built this thing by himself, in addition to like 500 other things. It's like, why wouldn't you at least want to be friends with him? Like, why would you have bad faith? Like in my business practices, even if I don't agree with someone, I never have bad blood with them. But like Anthropic is basically like, man, fuck OpenClaw. I don't want anything to do with this. And then OpenAI, our ChatGPT, they're like, okay, I love it. Like, come work for us. Why wouldn't you do that? That's what I don't understand. Even if they're making a rival thing, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because they can't acquire it. Maybe they were like, I want to buy it. I want to own OpenClaw, but that's like not an option. Because if they buy it, they have the ability to close sources, which is like what they don't want to do. That could be it, but I don't know.
Fair, Let's see where the journey goes this year with OpenClaw. But from what I'm seeing is you remain very bullish on OpenClaw, the technology behind it, and I think that's where you spend most of your vibe coding time right now, is using that stack, right? And that setup.
Yeah, like for this one, like Quran app that I have to submit to the iOS store, before I took a look at it on Cursor, I sent it to my OpenClaw on Discord. I was like, here's the review that the iOS store sent us. How do we fix this? Can you fix it for me? And he went through it and he was like, okay, I fixed it. That was it. That's crazy. And the problem was simple. It was like I needed an account deletion button. I didn't have a button to delete the account if somebody made one, something small. And then he was like, okay, I fixed it. So that's like something I don't have to do now. But right now I'm just double checking it to make sure it's fixed so I don't get deleted again. But that was it. Like, it was a simple fix. It was adding a button to delete your account. Why do I have to do that? Why not just have your AI do it? He's powered by the same Claude subscription that I would have done myself. But like right before I go to sleep, hey, fix this. I wake up and it's fixed. That's crazy. That's all you need to do.
Ashen, let's close it down. I think we uncovered a few interesting things about your setup and everything. I asked the questions that I wanted to ask. Cool. I have more, but we'll continue at a different spot. I want to give you the rest of your morning to talk to your Claude bot again. He probably starts to miss you. So
he's actually offline right now. I have to set these two up, so he's like sleeping. I have to fix it again. I'm dreading that. I hate doing that. It's so boring, bro.
The setup.
The setup sucks because I just set up like 5 different things and then I return them and I have to do it again. It's so annoying.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that I'm wishing for right now is like a really, really good manual of best practices. That is a content idea of best practices and learnings from everything we learned so far of setting up your OpenClaw. because it's not just, plugging in one line of code and then there it is. There's a lot of adjustments and things you can do to have a proper setup, as you know.
For sure.
And like there's a lot of best practices, but they're kind of scattered around right now in articles on X, on Reddit forums and YouTube videos. I'd like to have one single source of truth kind of document, article, video, whatever, that I can hand over to my OpenClaw that's completely fresh and tell him, look, this is your Bible. Please set yourself up according to this. If you need me, ask me questions, but do your thing. And then he'll just set himself up.
That's a great idea. That's a really good idea. So I got to think about that too. I'll tell my OpenClaw to do it. He can do it. I don't want to do it.
Perfect.
Or you tell your OpenClaw. You tell yours. He'll do it, and then tell him to do what he learned, and then we'll see if that works.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, bro. In a few years, it's just going to be us telling bots to do shit fast, and we're just sitting there consuming content.
I think so, bro. It brings us like what we were saying in the beginning. We're like being at the forefront of technology and on Twitter 8 hours a day sounds so dumb. But in reality, like if you were doing that in crypto for the past 5 years, you probably made a lot of money. And now if you're doing that in AI, you probably made a lot of money. And I think you're right. I think in the past, like if you're good at it now, you're going to be great at it later. And you're going to be learning something that everyone's going to learn in a couple of years. Yeah.
So position yourself correctly. Spend your time not just reading about the shit, actually doing it. That's the big unlock here, because people talk about shit and then they order all their hardware, but then it's in the corner. Nah, just like set something up, start coding, vibe coding, and build some stuff. That's the best way to learn how this shit works, right?
I agree.
Awesome. 100%. Ashen, thank you so much for coming on today. It was great to have you on stream and on the recording. If people want to find you on YouTube, what's your YouTube actually? What's your YouTube handle?
It's Soul Ashen One or Ashen One Soul. So the Solana is never leaving. It's always in there. Ashen One Soul is my YouTube, I'm pretty sure.
Nice. Okay. So on YouTube, Ashen One Soul, and then on Twitter as well. You are the same, Ashen One, right? Yeah, Ashen One.
Just Ashen_1. That's it.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. You have a good day.
Yes.
I'll see you soon.
You too. Thank you. Thank you again.